What if, without repetitions, you could completely rewrite your reality? Jacobo Greenberg discovered that the mind doesn't just perceive, but actively constructs the world around us. He believed that consciousness shapes the fabric of reality, in ways few truly understand. On the other hand, Neville Godard revealed that the mechanism behind this transformation isn't effort, but certainty and intentional repetition. What happens when we combine these two perspectives into a simple, yet widely overlooked technique? No rituals, no materials, just your voice and conviction. It seems too simple to work, but perhaps that's exactly what they don't want you to know. The results are hard to explain until you experience them yourself. What you thought you knew about reality may never be the same again. Few dare to question the very nature of reality. Jacobo Greenberg was one of those rare investigators, a scientist who refused to accept ready-made answers. He didn't just want to understand how we perceive the world. He proposed that the mind doesn't merely observe, but actively creates the experience we call reality, shaping it based on deeply ingrained internal patterns. This suggests that what you believe to be immutable might actually just be a reflection of what you've been conditioned to accept as true. This concept finds a striking parallel in the teachings of Neville Godard, who claimed that the external world is merely a reflection of the inner mind. According to him, repeating a thought charged with emotion has the power to completely reshape someone's life. If reality is built upon what we accept as truth, then repeating an affirmation 100 times isn't just a mechanical act, it's a profound process of reshaping. Grinberg believed that the mind interacts with an invisible field of information, while Neville taught that this interaction can be consciously directed. By pronouncing a specific phrase with total conviction, you're not just reinforcing an idea within yourself, you're tuning your mind to a new frequency capable of attracting corresponding events. The notion that repetition can shape reality isn't superstition, but a fundamental mechanism of the human mind. Since ancient times, mantras, prayers, and rituals have used this principle to alter states of consciousness and provoke changes in the physical world. But what happens when you deliberately apply this technique with focus and total emotional involvement? Jacobo Greenberg studied how the mind constructs reality through internalized patterns. He suggested that what we perceive as solid is, in fact, an illusion created by consciousness interacting with an invisible field of information. According to him, this field responds to the mind in ways conventional science has yet to fully comprehend. On the other hand, Neville Godard didn't rely on scientific explanations. He simply stated that anything repeated with conviction becomes reality. The common thread between these perspectives is that repetition doesn't just reinforce a belief, but restructures neural connections, remodeling the internal framework that defines external experience. The subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined. It simply accepts whatever is repeatedly presented with emotion. When you repeat an affirmation 100 times, something begins to happen at a deep level, specific. Neural networks are activated and strengthened, making that idea increasingly present in your mental model. Grinberg believed that the brain could enter altered states where the boundaries between the physical and mental dissolve. Neville taught that by affirming something with certainty, you alter your internal vibration, causing reality to adjust to reflect this new configuration. The key to this process isn't just mechanical repetition, but feeling each word as an absolute truth. That's how the subconscious mind adopts a new pattern and begins translating it into tangible events. Repeating an affirmation 100 times is a simple yet powerful practice. It has the potential to break down mental barriers, dissolve limiting beliefs, and reprogram your perception of the world. If the human mind truly interacts with a field of information, then this exercise could be the key to accessing alternate realities. What you're about to learn isn't just a technique, it's a portal to a new way of existing. Repetition is the language of the subconscious. Everything you believe today has, in some form, been repeated countless times until it became part of your identity. From childhood, we've heard affirmations that shaped our perceptions of money, relationships, success, and even ourselves. Many of these beliefs were implanted without questioning, becoming invisible laws that govern our lives. Neville Godard and Jacobo Greenberg suggest, each in their own way, that this process can be reversed if a limiting pattern was established through repetition. It can also be dismantled and replaced with a new mental model using the same principle. The difference is that this time you'll do it consciously and deliberately, choosing exactly the reality you desire. The practice of repeating an affirmation 100 times isn't just a mental exercise, it's a true ritual of reprogramming. Each repetition deepens the idea within your mind until it becomes an unquestionable command for the subconscious. Just as an athlete trains their muscles until movements become automatic, you will train your mind until the new belief becomes an indisputable part of your reality. The moment doubt disappears is the moment the universe begins to reorganize itself to reflect this new mental configuration, and that's exactly what you're about to experience. Now that you understand the foundation of this process, let's move on to practical application. The technique is simple, but it requires absolute commitment. Over 7 consecutive nights, choose a quiet moment free from distractions and repeat a single affirmation 100 times out loud. This affirmation should align with a genuine desire, something you want to make an inevitable part of your reality. It could be something like, "My life is transforming for the better. I am prosperous, and everything flows in my favor," or any other phrase that resonates with your deepest intention. The first step is creating the right environment. The subconscious mind responds best when we're relaxed, so finding a calm and comfortable place is essential. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and allow your body to relax. This state of relaxation reduces mental resistance and makes the mind more receptive to new programming. Now begin the repetition. Each word must be spoken with total emotional involvement. You're not just talking, you're shaping your reality. Feel each sentence as if it's already an absolute truth. The mind doesn't respond only to words, but to the energy behind them. If you recite mechanically, the effect will be superficial. But if you repeat with conviction, feeling each word become part of you, the impact will be profound. At first, it may seem like you're just saying random words, but as you continue, you'll notice a subtle shift. Your mental state will begin to transform, and you'll enter a flow where the affirmation feels more real than anything else. That's the key. Repeat until your body and mind fully accept the statement as an undeniable fact. In the coming days, you may start noticing small changes, an increase in intuition, unexpected situations working in your favor, or even signs that seem to confirm something is realigning in your life. This happens because your mind is adjusting its perception to match the new program. Neville Godard taught that when a desire is accepted as an internal reality, the external world has no choice but to reorganize itself to reflect that belief. After the 100 repetitions, simply stop. Don't try to force anything or question the process. Letting go is as important as the repetition itself. Grinberg studied how excessive conscious control can interfere with the connection to the field of information. When you release the need for immediate results, you send a clear signal to the subconscious that you've already accepted this reality. And that's when changes begin to manifest naturally and inevitably. The stories of those who apply this technique are, at the very least, intriguing. Some people notice small changes within the first few days. Others start seeing signs they would have previously ignored. An unexpected message, an unusual invitation, a coincidence so precise it seems orchestrated by the universe. Those who use affirmations focused on prosperity, for example, report curious experiences, money appearing in unexpected ways, a debt forgiven, a sudden raise at work with no logical explanation. But the truth is, this isn't magic. Repetition creates a new mental state, and that state influences both your actions and how reality responds. Others use the technique to develop more confidence, focus, and clarity about their goals. After 7 nights of repeating phrases like, "I am capable of achieving everything I desire," or "incredible opportunities are coming my way," many report feeling a new drive to take action, as if an internal block had dissolved. Ideas flow more easily, intuition sharpens, and obstacles that once seemed insurmountable begin to lose their strength. This happens because when the mind accepts a new reality as truth, everything around you starts to adjust to reflect that change. After all, the way you see yourself defines what you allow to happen in your life. Reality isn't fixed. It molds itself according to the mental patterns you cultivate every day, often without realizing it. Jacobo Greenberg dedicated his life to studying this connection between mind and reality, while Neville Godard offered a pathway to access it consciously. What both show us is that the power has always been within us, waiting to be directed in the right way. Repetition isn't just a mental exercise, it's a key to transformation. By repeating an affirmation 100 times over 7 consecutive nights, you're not just saying words, you're programming your mind to accept a new truth, dissolving invisible barriers that once seemed unbreakable. The moment your mind accepts this new reality, the universe begins reorganizing everything around you to reflect that change. Now, the choice is yours. You can continue living under the same beliefs that brought you here, or you can test this technique and see for yourself what happens when you take control of your own mental programming. Just 7 nights, just 100 repetitions, simple enough to seem impossible, powerful enough to change your life. What will you choose? Now that you know this technique and understand the impact repetition can have on your reality, the only thing left is to try it for yourself. Choose an affirmation that resonates with what you most want to transform. It could relate to your prosperity, confidence, health, or any other area of your life. What matters is that the phrase is affirmative, direct, and deeply meaningful to you. For the next 7 nights, commit to this process. Find a moment of silence, take a deep breath, and repeat your affirmation 100 times out loud, feeling each word as an unquestionable truth. Just 7 nights, just 100 repetitions. It may seem simple, but if done with total intention and discipline, you'll realize this practice goes far beyond words. Something inside you will begin to change, and when that happens, the world around you will have no choice but to follow that transformation. If you'd like to share your experience or explore more content like this, leave a comment and continue this journey of discovery. Reality is always responding.